you again for joining this quick and easy training series for how you get up and running on Action Builder from scratch. The third component of this Getting Started series is field administration. So this is where you set up all of the fields and responses that are available to your organizers and activists, to really your whole organization in the field. We like to keep this really simple to start. And so I'm going to lay out creating the sections, fields, and responses that we found to be pretty standard across all organizations. But you can create whatever data model you want. You can track any information you want in field administration. So I'm going to start by creating a new section. And I'm going to call this section Activism. So here we have our activism section. These section headers are ways of grouping like questions, which we call fields in the system, together so that your activists, your organizers can quickly see, oh, this is where I'm going to log information about people's activism. I'm going to create a field. Fields in the system are ways of keeping track of any information. So these you could think of as questions or as groups of data points. I'm going to call this field Action Participation. So this is where our organizers and activists are going to keep track of all of the different actions that anybody has participated in. We have 5 different types of data points that you can have in the system. So you can have notes fields, address fields, standard fields, date fields, and number fields. Notes, date, and number fields let your activists and organizers associate either a note, a date, or a number with a particular response on a person's profile. The address field lets you assign a particular address to a response. And then the standard field is really simple and straightforward. I'm going to make this a date type field so we can keep track of the particular dates that a person participated in an action. Unlocking a field means that anybody in the system, any activist, any organizer, anybody who has a login can create a new response in their campaign for this field. So if you want people to keep track of membership meetings, if you want them to keep track of rallies, if you want them to keep track of going out and doing text banking, your activists and organizers could add text banking as an option or could add petition signature as an option here without having to go through you, an administrator. So it takes a load off of your plate to unlock these fields. If you care about data standardization, you're going to want to keep those data fields locked, however. So now I'm going to just go ahead and create a series of responses. So these are all the different responses we want available right off the bat for people in the action participation section. So I'm just going to type in a response and then I'm going to click enter. Super easy. You can see here that these responses are being created with access to chapter 1, 2, 3. I can edit which campaigns, which lists have access to these responses easily here. I can also do that in campaign customization. And I'll show you more details on that in a minute. Here, I'm also going to create an issues question. So what issues does somebody really care about? Issues questions are also questions that are frequently unlocked in the system. Super simple to create new questions, new responses here. Before I move on, I do want to hop to the campaign section and click here on chapter 1, 2, 3. We can also get to the campaign from here in the header by clicking go to campaign in chapter 1, 2, 3. Now, when I go to the Customize tab, Fields section of campaign customization, you can turn on or off any questions at any time. This will remove those questions and responses from the visibility of your organizers and activists. It never deletes any data. This is a way of keeping only the information that you want your organizers and activists to keep track of front and center. You just uncheck a box and click Save Changes. And then that question is no longer visible to your volunteers or to your staff. Next up, we're going to cover how you add new people to the system.